Growing Up with Social Media by Tammy Casagrande. As social media becomes more intertwined with our culture and society, the effects have been diverse in their nature, affecting much more than just online culture. Media plays a huge role in our society and has grown with things like the introduction of presidents. It has become an inseparable part of the adolescent lifestyle due to the focus from many media platforms. This means our youth are being affected and interacted with through social media more than ever, and has incited research to find out how this has impacted them. Social media plays an advocate with both positive and negative outcomes for our teens, with research suggesting it affects their relationships, communication, the ways companies interact with younger generations, and more personal issues like addiction, isolation, and productivity. Social media has removed communication barriers of the past, allowing for more options to have quick and responsive communication. It has allowed people to connect in ways they were never able to before. Adolescents have taken over much of social media and integrated it into their daily lives and personalities. By doing this, they have opened opportunities to keep continuous communication and learning through a much bigger variety of sources. This continued communication can support building relationships through a sharing of experiences with photos and bringing people together who might otherwise never have met. Businesses, if used correctly, can use social media to connect with their consumers and has given them another outlet to project their mission statements. Many businesses today will use their social media accounts to interact and give a personality to their brand. This has been used positively with accounts like Taco Bell's Twitter, who will banter with their customers and other restaurants, and has brought themselves a lot of positive attention from it. The outlet is also open to push their mission statements and support their customers in a fashion they're accustomed. As you can see, Old Spice and Taco Bell are bantering. Old Spice says, "Why is it that fire sauce isn't made with any real fire? Seems like false advertising." Taco Bell comes back and says, "Old Spice, is your deodorant made with real Old Spices?" The negative outcomes of social media. Social media has also been researched to have lingering negative effects on youth. Media has allowed us to compare ourselves and others in terms of likes or followers, which has often led to extreme negative outlooks of yourself. Research has suggested that percentage of body dissatisfaction and eating disorders has increased with social media usage. This negative outcome is especially dangerous when it's impacting youth, who often haven't developed coping skills or a strong self-image to deter from its effects. Comparison of oneself can lead to an isolation through perceived competition with others. While social media was created to expand communication, it has often led to youth feeling more isolated than ever. Research on the subject has shown that social media usage correlates positively with real-life social isolation. This suggests that youth are not interacting in person as much as they do on the online world. This is one negative outcome in which their relationships may not be as genuine or fulfilling online as they could be in person. Growing up in this new form of isolation would be tricky and hard to avoid with how persuasive social media is to the youth culture. Isolation in general can be comorbid with things like depression. It also gives youth very few places to gain tools or strategies to support them through it, as most adults haven't experienced isolation through social media and don't have a way to support youth going through it. In conclusion, what is apparent is that social media has impacted our youth and will continue as it evolves. Media is here to stay, and the effects, both positive and negative, need to be researched further and strategies made in response to supporting this ever-changing culture. While There are both positive and negatives to social media. The negatives need to be researched more to help prevent many of the negative outcomes mentioned earlier. Current ways to support youth is educating them on things like social media and internet usages, and there's ample amount of resources online that can help parents do just that. Monitoring their usage and keeping an open line of communication for them to speak to an adult about their families due to social media are key ways to leading a positive outcome. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation. Thanks for watching.